These words, He knows whom you let know. May we be the chosen ones, opening ourselves to the flow of that grace in every atom, every cell of our being, offering ourselves at the spiritual eye, at the feet of God and Gurus. The next chant is Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Hare Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Hare Guru, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare 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 Hare Rama, 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 Hare Guru, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Guru, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare.
This next chant is You Fill My Heart with Music. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. You fill my heart with music, I dance through life with thee. I sing your song and sorrows gone, in joy I live ever free. I sing your song and sorrows joy I live ever free. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions. Steal into my heart of hearts, banish my delusions.
we invite Nitendra Rajput to be here with us and share the inspiring talk course on God protects his devotees.
Good morning, everyone. Let's stand up, move our bodies a little bit. Let's walk in place, energize ourselves. Let's pray together. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, great masters of self realization, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswar, beloved Gurudeva, Paramahansa Yogananda ji, dear friend and guide, Swami Kriyananda ji, saints and sages of all religions, humbly we bow at thy feet. O great ones, strengthen us with thy power, protect us with thy grace. We are thine, God. Help us to find thee. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We'll do a few chants and then short meditation, and then we'll get into the discourse. Then we'll listen to a song of Swamiji on this topic, and then we will end with a healing prayer and an arti. While first we'll do the invocation to Brahma, we should know the words. And then we'll do a chant, O God Beautiful. This was a chant which Yogananda ji translated. The words are in the sheet out here. And then at the end, when we are going to do the song, the words are also in the sheet out there. Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurti Dvandatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyadi Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Tarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tvam Namami Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Cha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Let's open our hearts to all the forms of God and Gurus as we see them in nature, as we see them in people doing different service. Let's also think of Guru Nanak Ji, who had written this chant originally, especially on the occasion of Guru Parab earlier this week. Chant is O God Beautiful. O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow. At thy feet, O I do bow. Oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful. In the forest thou art green, in the forest thou art green, in the mountain thou art high, in the mountain thou art high, in the river thou art restless, in the river thou art restless, in the ocean thou art grave, in the ocean thou art grave. O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow, at thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful, O God beautiful, God beautiful, O God beautiful. To the serviceful thou art service, to the serviceful thou art service, to the lover thou art love, to the lover thou art love, to the sorrowful thou art sympathy, to the sorrowful thou art sympathy, to the yogi thou art bliss, to the yogi thou art bliss. O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow, at thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful. In the forest thou art green, in the forest thou art green, in the mountain thou art high, in the mountain thou art high, in the river thou art restless, in the river thou art restless, in the ocean thou art grave, in the ocean thou art grave. He Hari Sundar, He Hari Sundar, He Hari Sundar, He सुंदर तेरे चरण में शीर न मैं, तेरे चरण में शीर न मैं. हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर. बनो बनो में श्यामल श्यामल, बनो बनो में श्यामल श्यामल. गिरी गिरी में उन्नत उन्नत, गिरी गिरी में उन्नत उन्नत. सरता सरता चंचल चंचल, सरता सरता चंचल चंचल. सागर सागर गंभीर हे हरि, सागर सागर गंभीर हे हरि. हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर. तेरे चरण में शीर न मैं, तेरे चरण में शीर न मैं. हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर. सेवक जन के सेवा सेवा करी, सेवक जन के सेवा सेवा करी. प्रेमी जन के प्रेम प्रेम कर, प्रेमी जन के प्रेम प्रेम कर. दुख जनों के वेदन वेदन, दुखी जनों के वेदन वेदन. योगी जनों के आनंद हे हरि, योगी जनों के आनंद हे हरि. हे हरि हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर. तेरे चरण में शीर न मैं, तेरे चरण में शीर न मैं. हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर. बनो बनो में श्यामल श्यामल, बनो बनो में श्यामल श्यामल, गिरी गिरी में उन्नत उन्नत, गिरी गिरी में उन्नत उन्नत, सरता सरता चंचल चंचल, सरता सरता चंचल चंचल, सागर सागर गंभीर है, सागर सागर गंभीर है, हरि सुंदर हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, तेरे चरण में शीर नमय, तेरे चरण में शीर नमय, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, सेवक जन के सेवा सेवक, सेवक जन के सेवा सेवक, प्रेमी जन के प्रेम प्रेम, प्रेमी जन के प्रेम प्रेम कर, जनों के वेदन वेदन, दुखी जनों के वेदन वेदन, योगी जनों के आनंद है, योगी जनों के आनंद है, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, ओ गॉड ब्यूटीफुल, ओ गॉड, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, at thy feet, O I do bow, at thy feet, O I do bow, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, He Hari Sundar, He Hari Sundar, He Hari Sundar, He Hari Sundar, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful. Taking the beauty of God beyond what we just chanted to almost everything, to our parents, to our relatives, to the books, to the scriptures, to everything in which we see God in different forms. The next chant, let us call our longing for God, our love for God, opening our hearts and calling to Him in our lives. The words are simple. Hey Bhagwan. 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 हे भगवान, 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 हे हे भगवान, 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 हे भगवान. Taking all the energy, all the devotion, all our love for God in our hearts, up at the point between the eyebrows. Let's expand on this joyful love, sitting in silence for about 8 to 10 minutes. as we continue to remain inwards, let us do this affirmation on security. Before this, we will read Swami Kriyanandaji's words on this topic from Affirmations for Self-Healing. Man struggles all his life to store up treasures for himself, to ensure his property against loss and his health against the devastations of disease. He rests his faith in outward measures and sees not that such faith is like asking a wave not to move. Security is his alone, whose faith rests in the Lord. Most practical of men is he who offers his life to God, praying, "My safety is thy responsibility, Lord." This does not mean we should not be conscientious, but after doing our very best, we should leave the worrying to God. Let's do this affirmation together. I'll read out loudly first, please repeat, and then slowly we'll go deeper and in a lower voice, and finally mentally. I live in the fortress of God's inner presence. Nothing and no one can break through these walls and harm me. I live in the fortress of God's inner presence. Nothing and no one can break through these walls and harm me. I live in the fortress of God's inner presence. Nothing and no one can break through these walls and harm me. Now whispering, I live in the fortress of God's inner presence. Nothing and no one can break through these walls. Now mentally gazing at the point between the eyebrows. I live in the fortress of God's inner presence. Nothing and no one can break through these walls and harm me. Now we'll have the readings, first from the Whispers from Eternity and then from the Bhagavad Gita.
This reading is from Whispers from Eternity by Paramahamsa Yogananda. Burn thou my frailties in the furnace of trials. In the furnace of trials, the ore of my life is being purified. The fire of experience melts away all my delusions' dross. O divine artisan, burn away all my impurities. Bring out in me the steel of endurance and hone it to a fine edge by deep calmness. Forge in me from the tempered steel of mental balance, sharp swords of self-control and firm tenacity. With the weapon of inner equilibrium, teach me to fight every enemy of distraction. Om.
This reading is from the Essence of Bhagavad Gita by Swami Kriyananda. Chapter 29, The Nature of the Godly and the Demonic. Fearlessness comes with perfect non-attachment. It is a natural attitude for those who feel they have nothing to protect. The instinct of self-preservation is, of course, the fundamental reason for fear. Ego, or the sense of having a separate individuality and of being different from others, gives rise to the instinct of fear. Ego consciousness is born of attachment to the body. Therefore, fear arises from anxiety to protect the body and cannot be conquered so long as attachment to the body lingers. The more a person's body consciousness expands to include such things as a sense of possessions, a concern for one's reputation, a sense of personal power, or the importance, the greater the likelihood of feeling fear. Fearlessness, on the other hand, comes from releasing those attachments, quite possibly in their reverse order, into the infinite. The desire for personal importance, the desire for power or control over anything or anyone, the desire to be well thought of, admired, and respected above others, attachment to possessions, attachment to bodily health and well being, and finally, identification of oneself with the body. The fast and sure way to develop fearlessness is to love God. By loving Him, one feels ever protected by a force far greater than any power of one's own.
Thank you, Venkat. Thank you, Aditya. And welcome, everyone. My name is Nitendra, and the topic of today's satsang is God protects his devotees. And we are going to start with a story of a 8-year-old child, a naughty kid. What's your naughtiest friend's name? What- What's your best friend's name? Oh my goodness. Who stays closest to your house? No, which friend stays closest to your house? What's the name? Kirtharth? Yatharth. Okay, wonderful. We have a name for the person of the story which we are going to talk about. Yatharth is a very naughty 8-year-old child and very curious as well. In some sense, we all can relate to Yatharth because most of us in one form or the other would have been having those instances when we were at that age. So being curious, Yatharth was standing outside, and once his granddad comes riding a bike, motorbike, and he sees the motorbike, and then his granddad parks that bike and he's really looking at it. So the granddad, knowing his grandson, realizes that he's very curious about the bike. So he goes inside, but as while he was going in, he said, you can play with the bike, but don't touch this part, which is a silencer, because it's usually very hot when I'm coming after driving. So Yatharth, being Yatharth, he looked at the bike, and the first thing that he does is he touches that silencer. His hands get burnt, he has blisters, and then he's supposed to tell someone so that they can treat it. So eventually his granddad knows, and he asks what happened. And he said, it's so hot outside, I actually touched the stone and then I have blisters in my hand. Of course, everyone knew what's happening because Yatharth is a famous, curious child, right? It doesn't end here. Next time, what happens is Yatharth has been told that someone in the house, his uncle has made soap in a bucket. Okay. They mix chemicals and then they wait for all those chemicals to settle in. It's a liquid form. In a day, it becomes solidified, and then people used to make soap at home that does, right? So that uncle said to Yatharth, don't put hands in the water. Obviously, what did Yatharth do? He put his hands in, he again got blisters, and then he came up with some other reason why his hands got burnt, right? Yatharth kept on learning from all these experiences. He was trying to become wiser. He started to learn to ride a bicycle. His parents were very protective of him to make sure that they get him a bike with side support. And then when they were comfortable, they removed it, but then they would run around with him so that he won't fall and so on. Eventually, Yatharth was good at riding the bike, very confident. And then once he said, okay, I'm going out to ride my bike. So his mom said, no, I'm at home. I won't be able to come with you. So he said, now I have learned it. So you don't need to come with me. So Yatharth's mom says, Beta, when you think you are very confident of something, that's when you actually fall down. And Yatharth says, yeah, right, forget it. And then Yatharth goes. So there he is riding on a road, straight road, very nicely and confidently, very happy that I have control. I won't fall this side, I won't fall that side, and keeps going straight. The road ends in a T junction, and then he has a choice of going left or right. And there is an open drain also next to that end of the road. So he's very confident, laughing and happily. I have the control. I can turn left. I can turn right. I have the control. I can turn left. I can turn right. I can turn left. I can turn right. Eventually, what happens? He doesn't turn and then he falls in the drain. Yatharth grows up to be actually a nice person because after all these instances, he starts to realize maybe what these parents and so on, what they say actually is important. And so he starts listening to them. He starts developing that faith in his parents and his relatives and his teachers, start following things, and he becomes a nice, wonderful person. Isn't that something that happens to our daily lives as well? The only thing is that everything is amplified a lot. The protection that we get from parents is so that you don't get your hands burned, but the protection that we get from the God and gurus is in some sense something that saves our lives. There are so many stories of our masters and gurus where we hear how life was saved by our master. Once there was this story wherein Dr. Lewis was driving his car down the slope. It was going very fast, and there was a hairpin turn. And then he put his leg on the brake, and what happens? The leg goes fully down, the car doesn't stop at all. And what does he do? Can we switch off the phone if we know? Yeah, it's ringing actually. So, what does the person do? What does Dr. Lewis do at that point in time? He asks Master, Master, is that what you want? He asks for his willingness, and suddenly he feels that there is a hand that comes on the hood of the car, and the car stops there. So, the kind of protection that we get from the Master is extremely amplified, right? In another instance, there was a devotee of Master who was a leader at SRF Center in Mexico City. And he had been trying to find for a job for a long time. He couldn't find a job. And eventually he landed up into a very good job offer. So he writes a letter to Master, informing him, not even asking him, informing him that I've got this wonderful job, but because of which I'll have to move out of Mexico City. So can you please figure out someone else who can take care of this center? And he was not expecting a response, but Yoganandaji responded very sternly to him, saying that no, don't take that job. Now he's thinking, Yoganandaji knows that I had been looking for a job. This is a very good job. I need it. How could he tell me not to take that job? Another interesting lesson in that story is that he actually did not take that job. And eventually, a month down the line, he realizes that the company that he was supposed to join got itself into some fraud, and all the people, including the position that this devotee was supposed to join, landed up in jail. That is how masters protect their devotees. Significantly amplified. But why only his devotees? I mean, what has master got to do with people who are not his devotees? Is he kind of against them or something? Is he like running an election that if you are to my party, then I'm going to do this to you or not? That brings us to the thought that what do devotees do, and what does it mean when they say that God protects his devotees? What do devotees do? Well, they listen to the masters. They say, okay, go there, they do, they go and don't go there, they don't do, and so on and so forth. They meditate. So master says, okay, meditate, they meditate. Master says, energize, energize. They say, okay, chant, they chant, read my books, pray, um, be with Guru Bhais, be in satsangs, and so on. So looks like God has come up with a checklist. If you are doing this, 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 and this, and this, then okay, I'll protect you. If you're not doing all of those things, take care of yourself. I mean, it sounds a bit selfish, right? I mean, why would God do that? But if we think of how we actually protect ourselves in simple things, how our rules made in our societies and so on, it becomes very simple to understand this. If I am on a road driving my car, the speed limit is 50, I'm driving at 150, most likely I'm likely to have an accident, right? So there is a law, there is a rule. If I do not follow that rule, automatically I'm likely to be not as protected, right? If I'm driving wrong side, if I cross the road with a red light, if I do more of these things, then eventually I'm going to have an accident, right? Similarly, there are higher laws as well. The laws of nature are the ones that our masters asks us to follow. And obviously, if we do not follow the laws of nature, they're exactly the same as the laws that we have made in our society. If we talk to someone in a harsh manner, they may start fighting with us, we may get hurt. So that's why there are some social norms that we are supposed to follow. We follow them, we automatically are saved. Similarly, if we follow the higher laws, automatically we are saved. So it is not that God is being partial by saying that you follow these 5 different things and that's why I'll save you, but it is just a natural law. If we are in tune with that natural law, automatically things do not come to us. And that's how God protects. And that's why it says that God protects his devotees. His devotees are able to follow that law. The only problem is, where is that law written? When we go to a test to get a driving license, we know that okay, I'm supposed to stop at a red light and I'm supposed to go at this light. This sign is called speed sign. This sign is called stop sign, and so on. Where is that book which says what are the different laws of nature, of reality, of higher consciousness? Not in a single book. And that is why God asks us, masters ask us to follow these things. When we meditate, we attune ourselves, we automatically get to know the higher laws. When we read their scriptures, we get into their vibration. When we do a satsang, we get into the vibration of our Guru Bhais. All that vibration automatically attunes us so that we can listen in and get a download of what is the higher law. Of course, we fall off, but then Master has given a large number of techniques. How do we come back to that? So his devotees, if they are following these things, they are reading that rule book. His devotees, if they are following those things, if they are not able to follow a particular rule, there are enough support systems around, equivalent to the traffic policemen that stand there, who keep bringing us on this particular path, and automatically we are protected. An interesting thing to realize is that it is all in some sense about attunement. We want to attune to the cosmic sound of Om. And that is why Master also says, if you are in Om, nothing can touch you. Obviously, because if we are in Om, we are attuned to that higher law, automatically things happen the way they are supposed to happen. And if we don't go against the nature, we are completely protected. When we do these satsangs, when we do these programs, when Jyotishji and Deviji came, a lot of us were serving together. What were we doing? Putting up chairs here and there, making things nice, looking a nice stage, creating pamphlets and all of that stuff. That's very physical, right? Behind that, what happens is that while we are doing all of these things, we are attuning ourselves to that cosmic sound of Om. When Jyotishji and Deviji, when our acharyas come here and then they give a talk, what are they doing? They are getting us into that vibration of Om. And that is how masters and God protect our devotees. Last week, Dhyanaji was here doing a class and she was talking about ways and techniques of different kinds of things, and in which one of the things came up that how do we give up bad habits? And she was talking about eating bad food, or maybe if we have a habit of drinking or smoking and so on. Anaya Swami talking about how to get rid of drinking, smoking. They don't even have that experience, to be honest. Why do they talk about those kind of things? Because at our level of consciousness, those are the problems that we see in our lives. They come down to our level of consciousness, bring us together, and then take us up. God says that God doesn't actually mind us suffering. His goal is that he wants to free us from everything, even if we suffer on the way. Similarly, all these talks that happen and so on, it's mostly about vibration. When our masters talk, they come down to our level of consciousness. They start talking about the problem that we relate to, but they're not really interested in solving the problem. Something else is happening much beyond that, which is they are attuning us to the vibration of Om. It's like God coming down to our level of consciousness, wrapping us in their protection, in their aura, and taking back us home. Joy to you. To take this story forward, we'll end the satsang with a wonderful song written by Swami Kriyanandaji. This is a beautiful story, and the song is long, but the words are in the sheet out here. If you can share with you, if you don't have with it. The long and short of the story is that there is this sweet child. She's waiting out of the church in torn clothes, but she's not allowed to enter the church because she doesn't have the right clothes. A person comes next to him, and then he's also feeling cold. So she actually gives her torn shawl to that particular child, and he is actually Jesus. And then he says that that shawl turns into gold, the layer of protection. So let's listen to this song, and then we'll do the Aarti.
Poor little girl walking in the cold, her clothing all tattered and thin. Spied a rich man standing outside a church, outside a church, outside a church. Spied a rich man standing outside a church, the service about to begin. Kind sir, she said, hear an orphan child. The cold winds of winter have come. I've no place to live, not in all the world. Oh, help me find work in some home. The rich man frowned, don't you hear that hymn? Good people have gathered in prayer. It's a day for worship, impious girl. Impious girl, oh impious girl. It's a day for worship, impious girl. Don't speak here of earthly affairs. He walked off and entered the holy church. The girl wandered down the cold street, and there all at once she beheld a small boy. No jacket, no shoes for his feet. His clothing was shabby, as worn as her own. He shivered against a closed door. Alas, he cried, none will take me in. Take me in, none will take me in. Alas, he cried, none will take me in. Though I'm starving and cold, for I'm poor. Seeing him, she cried, how I feel for you. It's bitter with no friends to live. Here, please take my shawl, it's all I can spare, though it's shameful so little to give. She wrapped him all up in a flimsy cloth and kissed his cold forehead and smiled. Suddenly a warmth like a summer breeze, summer breeze, like a summer breeze. Suddenly a warmth like a summer breeze encircled this poor girl and child. And a tender voice said, my daughter, I'm here. No more shall you weep without friends. For in yonder church there's no love like yours. Those with pure hearts, their needs I attend. My child, all men's sorrows would turn to joy if they knew that to share is no loss. For its kindness softens the human heart. Human heart, the human heart. For its kindness softens the human heart. I know, I who died on the cross. Worship means but love, and my love you've found by your gift to me here in the cold. And she saw their clothes were now woolen and warm, and the shawl was now spun of fine gold.
We'll now have the Aarti.
You can all stand up, chant with me. And once the Aarti is over, we can all go up.
Om
this very inspiring session, let us share the blessings that we always receive when we meet in the name of God. Let us pray together, thinking of all those souls who are in need of this healing blessings. Divine Mother, may thy light shine on the sanctuary of our devotion. May we be able to share thy love with all whom we need. Divine Mother, thou art omnipresent. Thou art in all thy children. Manifest thy healing presence in their bodies, their minds, and their souls. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. There is prasad in the next room. And after this satsang, there is a workshop on healing, effective prayers. Those of you who have already registered, please collect your name tags there. And those who are yet to register, please come there and register. And we will see you in the next room.